Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
Patriotic and hungry at the same time.
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
We see behind the goal and we see the standings.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He was exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
Goalie of the year. Presents Major League Lacrosse tonight live from Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia. Two teams battling for a playoff spot face off as the Chesapeake Bayhawks visit the Atlanta Blaze. Hi everybody, Scott Sudikoff alongside Malcolm Chase. Very happy to have you with us. And Malcolm, we look at the standings here. Chesapeake a win, they clinch a playoff spot. Atlanta fighting for their playoff lives.
Really exciting time of the season here, Scott. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm juiced right now. I hear the Metallica playing the first game in front of you.
Here is Dave Cottle, the Chesapeake head coach. He's won 3 Major League Lacrosse championships as the head coach. And his goalie, Nico Amato. He's 3rd in the league in goals against average, 4th in save percentage, trying to bounce back after the tough 20-10 loss that Chesapeake had against Charlotte on Saturday. On the other side for Atlanta, first-year head coach Liam Banks, the former 2-time All-American at Syracuse. You know, he loves the all-orange uniforms that Atlanta is rocking today. And there's Adam Gittleman. He is 2nd in the league in goals against average. He leads the way in goal in his 8th year in Major League Lacrosse.
The feedback so far from the players has been really positive about Coach Banks in his first year, shifting the culture and really encouraging the players to play a much higher tempo, fast-paced, up-and-down style of lacrosse.
Now here's a fun face-off matchup. Stephen Kelly on your left, 56% for the season. Joe Nardella on the right. 2 of the better face-off men in the league. And early violation on Chesapeake, so Atlanta will have the first offensive possession of the evening. So you can see Atlanta in the all-orange unis, the chrome orange helmets. Kevin Rice has to feel pretty at home. He's a former Syracuse Orange. And Sergio Salcido stings it off the crossbar. Another Syracuse guy. He'll still be playing. Early shot there by Salcido.
Yeah, we've seen Salcido earlier this season, just able to get those shots off.
And Nico Amato gets off to a good start there, making a save as Deemer Class was diving in towards the crease.
We know this offense can be potent. Vito's a real threat on the run downhill. You've got to force him away from the cage and make some really quick decisions about whether or not you're going to slide to him early.
Chesapeake losing 20-10 this past Saturday in a driving rainstorm for the vast majority of the game against Charlotte. But one of the big things, obviously, is they were missing a lot of players at the World Games. And on the field right now, you see number 4, Lyle Thompson, his first game of the year. Number 22, Josh Byrne, back in the lineup. Steele Stanwyck wasn't with the team Saturday as well, and he's out there right now. So just like that, it's a whole different look on offense. Colin Heacock bounces one off the post, and nice ball picked up by Scott Ratliff. And Ratliff, that's his forte for non-face-off guys in the league. He leads the league in ground balls.
Yeah, he's great off the ground. You watch him. I call it the suitcase carry, where he just tucks his stick like a shorty and runs straight up field.
Kevin Rice can't put that on cage. Rice coming into the day second in the league in points with 54, and just finished taking the bar exam yesterday. So he was a little bit busy studying for that while playing this summer. Here is Rice with the ball right now. Diagonally out to Salcido, step down shot, can't get it on cage. Right now we're seeing Atlanta rip a lot of shots early, and we have a penalty coming.
Penalty for a cross check.
Matt Reese, a cross check, and so Atlanta goes on the EMO here.
Let's go, Blaze.
This is a great opportunity for Atlanta to keep firing on the cage. They saw a couple of really good looks earlier, one off the post. They're sniffing for that first goal and kind of setting the tone for this quarter.
Yeah, they seem like they want to attack this defense early and often. There's a kick save by Amato against Rice. Ball picked up behind the cage, though, by Connor Kelly, the rookie out of Maryland. Playing in his 7th game, has scored 11 goals already. Deemer Class goes low for a 2-point attempt and a save by Amato. So Atlanta, in this early going, has put 4 shots on goal, also one off a crossbar.
Might have noticed him, that man up there, Isaiah Davis-Allen was shutting off Rice on that man-up play, so they were going 5-on-4 there. Chesapeake picking their battles. The lesser of two evils taking Rice out of the play.
Chesapeake looking to run out the rest of this 1-minute penalty. That was called a cross-check. That was whistled on Matt Reese. And now here's Matt Abbott, 10th year in the league. Had a goal and an assist against Charlotte on Saturday. Down the alley goes Ryan Tucker. Tucker tries to redodge, draws a slide. Here's Lyle Thompson. Shot clock winding down to 2-1. His first shot of the season. He bounces it home. Lyle Thompson, 100% during the Major League Lacrosse. 1 for 1.
Yeah, they missed number 4 during the World Games. Here's what he can do so well, leaning into his defender. All the Thompson brothers have gotten so much stronger over the years. They're really committed to developing their game in the weight room. Right there, he just drops his shoulder, well aware of the clock, much like a box lacrosse play, leaning in and getting enough angle to tuck that one in.
Lyle scored 12 goals, had 11 assists for the Iroquois Nationals at the World Championship. He finished in 3rd for the 2nd consecutive time. So 1-0 Chesapeake leads, and now violation called on Atlanta, so our face-offs are split, and we've had the whistle on both teams.
Well, I think both of those guys, Kelly and Nardella, have a ton of respect for one another, so naturally they're going to have a couple of jumps early, just trying to get the upper hand and also feel out their opponent.
Now, Malcolm, the first time these two teams played, one of the lower scoring games you'll see, there's a takeaway by Kyle McClancy, the rookie from Albany. So nice play, causing the turnover. As I was saying, it was a 9-6 Chesapeake win in that game in Annapolis. Again, that's something you rarely see.
Yeah, you take a look at the rosters for both of these teams. I can't imagine either team scoring under 10, so that really speaks to how how well the defense had been playing in that game.
Rice there with McClancy. See Jones down there defensively with Jesse Bernhardt also back with the Bayhawks after he played in all 7 games for Team USA. 13, McClancy trying to spin away from Jones. Tries again, gets bumped. Nowhere to go. Clock down to 5, and that got knocked down by Reese. 1 second, and Deemer Class is denied by Nico Amato, who has already put up 4 saves in this first quarter.
Yeah, Amato's playing great off the bat here. And, you know, that goal for Atlanta gets them into this game. So I consider that a really clutch save early on here.
Here's Steele Stanwyck. Mentioned he did not play Saturday, but does have 15 goals, 5 assists in the 7 games he has played. Of course, unretiring after not playing last year. Spent 2016 with Ohio. Josh Byrne, the rookie of the year last year in the MLL, scores to put the Bayhawks in front 2-0. 15th goal of the season scored by Byrne. Bayhawks 2, Blaze nothing here on Lax Sports Network.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 is 18th, when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
By Coca-Cola and by Powerade. Welcome back. Let's take a look at our Maverick player spotlight. And first on the Chesapeake side, Jesse Bernhardt back with the team after being with Team USA. And what does a player like Jesse Bernhardt add to your defense for Chesapeake?
I mean, Bernhardt's one of the most complete in the world, and he brings athleticism, he brings experience, he can take the ball away if you need to, but he can also shut down the best player on the opposing team. So that's a lot, you know, is having a guy like that you can count on game in and game out. So having him back in the lineup brings a ton of energy for Chesapeake.
Here we have our first real face-off win, Joe Nardella, and then he's able to set up a good opportunity. It'll stay with Atlanta. Connor Kelly on the backup. Malcolm, definitely want to get your thoughts on the Nardella-Kelly matchup and what each does, maybe similarly or differently, and then how they're going to adjust as this game goes. Because again, as I said, this is one of the premier face-off matchups you'll get in this league.
Absolutely. Nardella, you can see right there, he can score. He can create scoring opportunities. I think he's got 6 goals this year. You know, he can definitely bring it on the offensive end. He's also very athletic on the defensive end. So if you're not going to get him caught.
Connor Kelly drains a 2-pointer.
And your 2-point goal by number 1.
Second of the season for Connor Kelly. His 12th goal overall, and Atlanta, just like that, able to tie the game.
But Connor Kelly doing a nice job stepping down, catching across his body, and bringing that high heat. Just has a great natural overhand shot. Did it so well for the University of Maryland, and now he's making a ton of noise in the MLL.
Two-time All-American in college, was a Tualatin finalist. Now playing in his 7th game as a member of the Atlanta Blaze. Now here's this face-off with Kelly and Nardella.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are both really quick to the clamp. Kelly, if he's not getting the clamp over Nardella, he's going to try and get the ball out so he can use his athleticism.
Scott Ratliff right off the wing, able to get to it. Kyle McClancy, Amato with his 5th save, rebound. Ratliff had it, and then it was, I think Bernhard was able to rip it out to make sure he didn't have a clean attempt on a putback.
Yeah, you know, and Ratliff, you know, he's so great off of the wing there. Did a nice job of coming in and helping on that previous face-off and creating that immediate transition. And the wings matter too. It's not just a one-on-one battle.
Right.
It's a really important 3-on-3 battle. And those wings, either whether you're going to seal your guy because you trust your man to win the clamp, or you're going to get involved. And I think Chesapeake, more often than not, with Kelly, wants to get involved and make it more of a 3-on-3 battle. I think Nardella, he's more favored in the one-on-one.
I think the officials deciding here, at first they were saying that was a shot that went to the sideline and that it was going to still be Atlanta ball, but I think they figured out that it wasn't a shot in the end there from Ratliff. So give possession to Chesapeake.
You'd have to enact the Tom Brady rule on that one, whether he was following through on the shot.
You know, bring up bad memories for John Gruden, who I guess is back in the league now. 2-2. Chesapeake scored the first 2 goals. Lyle Thompson, his first shot of the season, he scored. And then Josh Byrne tallied one. 2-point goal has tied this game up at 2. Scott Sudikoff and Malcolm Chase here with you. Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia. The home of the Atlanta Blaze. The home of the 2016 championship game in the MLL. And now will be the home of the 2020 All-Star game. As just was announced a couple of days ago, pass over the top of the goal was easily intercepted. Hosick, as he comes back to the Atlanta Blaze from his stint with Team Canada. 13 ground balls in the 7 games played, but turned over there by Liam Burns, so it'll be back to Chesapeake. So both teams obviously getting some players back in the lineup from the World Games. Haven't mentioned his name yet, Christian Cuccinello, who was able to get back quickly enough to play last Saturday after he played for Team Italy and scored 16 goals, had 7 assists, and also played a little bit of long pole as well while there with Team Italy. Number 33 in the orange is working behind the net right now. And Amato makes his 6th save. Salcido tried to keep it alive, but snagged there in the crease by Bernhardt. And there's Nico Amato, who's off to a hot start today. Matt Reese with the pole, fires it in. 4th goal of the year for the 2nd-year player out of Navy. And Chesapeake regains the lead, 3-2.
You're going to see here, Reese gets everything on this shot. He's a big boy, 6'5", 215. He pulls that long pole all the way back. There's a lot of speed on that.
I was going to say, how hard is that to control, though? Because it just seems awkward with the pole like that to get a shot off.
Well, speaking as a long pole, we spent a lot more time with the long pole in our hands, so it becomes more natural. And I think as a bigger player, speaking as another bigger player, I wish I was 6'5". Close.
What are you, like 6'3"?
I'm 6'3".
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. But,
you
but
better
certainly
not be.
For a larger player, you know, it feels a little bit more natural to have a longer stick in your hands. And you can see right there, he's very comfortable.
And Nardella face-off win sets up Kyle McClancy, and we alluded to it earlier. You talked about the ability for Joe Nardella to be an offensive threat. There it is. He sets up McClancy to get the goal right back.
Oh, and rewind a couple of minutes ago when Nardella had that nice shot that almost scored. The defense now has to respect him whether he scored or not. He's going to sell the defense on him being an offensive threat. And that gives McClancy more time off ball.
So that Matt Reese goal, by the way, was a 2-point goal. I thought that was inside the arc, but they got it as 4-3 in favor of Chesapeake. And, well, Kevin Rice will tie it up just like that. His 28th goal of the season, and it's 4-4. I don't think we're going to get that 9-6 game here today.
That's a great point. Yeah, I don't think so either, just the way the ball's bouncing. On this play, it looks like Rice is winding up. Ratliff doing a nice job getting the ball off the ground, moving it up quickly. Rice winding up. It looks like he wants to go to the opposite side and just catching the defender's stick to put it near side low, catching Amato off guard.
So 28th goal of the season for Rice, and the assist for Ratliff, his second of the game. So we've had two two-pointers that were back-to-back. Connor Kelly for Atlanta, and then Matt Reese was behind the line for Chesapeake. Nardella wins another face-off and will work it back to his goalie, Adam Gittleman, who is playing in his 7th game this season. 3rd year with Atlanta. Spent 2015 with Boston, 3 years with Charlotte, a year with Denver as well. He's played almost 80 games now in his career. Down on the other side in orange for Atlanta. Tommy Palasek, another player on the Blaze that is comfortable in the orange uniforms. 7th year out of Syracuse. Dodging against Reese. Now Salcido swings it to Deemer Class. Deemer Class, of course, who had that 2-point range against the Lizards earlier this year, so he needs to be watched out deep. Salcido finds the top right corner, tucks it just underneath the crossbar and inside that far post, and Salcido gives Atlanta their first lead of the game, 5-4. So Sergio Salcido lights it up for the Blaze, and they lead 5-4.
For over 30. Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you, for players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at, so what are you waiting for? Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He's perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy?
There's Sergio Salcido moments ago, scored his 4th goal since joining the Blaze. And he's given Atlanta the lead for the first time today, 5-4. Now, we talked about on the Chesapeake side, Jesse Bernhardt, now a defensive player for Atlanta. Liam Burns leads the league in caused turnovers, our Maverick player spotlight.
Yeah, and, Liam, a big, rangy player. He's able to get out, essentially swallow his matchup and create that kind of pressure.
How about that hair, too, by the way?
Love the flow.
That is some good-looking, long hair. He takes care of that very well.
I have mullet envy. I can't grow that kind of flow.
Face-offs right now, Atlanta's won 5. So Joe Nardella has gotten the better so far of Stephen Kelly. Let's see if Kelly is able to change anything up and get a win. And still down. Kelly working hard, but wow, it ends up with the vacuum, Scott Ratliff.
Yeah, and I think Kelly got the better of Nardella on that draw. And again, like I mentioned, getting the ball out away from the X is going to be more of his advantage, being a smaller, more agile player. But Ratliff, like you said, he's doing his job. Coming in. I think Chesapeake's got to do a better job at sealing Ratliff, which is easier said than done, but that's going to be crucial to getting some face-off wins.
Atlanta, a big win this past Saturday at Ohio, 13-10. Had a 3 halftime lead and were able to seal it in the fourth quarter, outscoring the Machine 4-2. Get themselves to 5-6. They're 1 game behind Charlotte. Charlotte is 7-6. They wrap up their season Saturday at Boston, and Kevin Rice tallies his second of the game. And the Blaze now have a 2-goal lead, 29th of the season for Kevin Rice, who, without a doubt, this year has been his breakout season here in MLL.
He's such an opportunistic player, just recognizing the attention that's being drawn on the other side. And that Bernhardt's going to have to come straight across the crease and changing his angle and going slightly upfield and allowing the eyes of his at the end of his stick having eyes on the goal and being able to extend his hands up around Bernhardt on that approach. Just a great heads-up play and quick release by Rice.
So that's 56 points this season in 12 games. Last year he had 47 points in 10 games. 2 years ago here with Atlanta, actually had a pretty solid season as well, of course, had 58 points. Only played 9 games back in 2016. So maybe had a little bit of a better pace at that point, but I think this has been just still, in terms of his development, has probably been still that breakout year where he's certainly opened a lot of eyes and hoping to lead Atlanta into the playoffs. So Atlanta's 6-4 lead, and trying to add on to it, Kyle McClancy has one of those goals. Salcido, and that goes off the stick of Cuccinello. And Cuccinello was able to recover it. Shot clock is down to 17. Cuccinello down low. Rice goes low, saved by Amato. Rice, though, able to get the rebound. Now Connor Kelly. Matched up with Goran Murray. Back with the Bayhawks after he played with Jamaica in the World Championships. They finished in the top 15 in their first ever trip to the FIL World Championships. Fighting through the screen there, Nick Manis to stay with Kelly, who then tried to feed Salcido. Amato out of his crease. Gets it to Jesse Bernhardt. Minute and 38 to go here in the first quarter. 85 degrees in Atlanta for this one.
Nice pressure by Atlanta on the ride to knock 20 seconds off the shot clock.
And now you have Steele Stanwyck working down low, trying to go against Justin Pennington. Lyle Thompson slipped a bit there, and that's going to go over and back Atlanta ball. So, as you said, the ride by Atlanta really then kind of pressed Chesapeake offensively, and they turn it over. Good look at Kevin Rice, who has scored 2 goals here in the first quarter. Let's see, look at those helmets, too. The chrome is definitely a good look. It's a very solid look.
You may not want to look directly at that.
No. Kelly's shot trickles by Amato. He got a piece of it, but Kelly scores his second goal of the game to go along with the 2-pointer he had. Atlanta already has more against Chesapeake here in the first quarter than they had of all in the first matchup when they lost 9-6.
Nice job by Kelly to get into his man and to get him to fall. The shot itself is a decent look. I just think it Amato would probably consider that a squeaker where he's getting a piece and the ball sort of rolling into the back of the cage. You want that one back. But excellent footwork and stability by Kelly. It's one of the things that he does so well. Getting low when he gets to his man and maintaining that base.
Now we see Sean Mail taking a face-off. What do you think the strategy here? That's a pole. Sean Mail, the rookie out of Denver.
They're going to slow down the Nardella train to the offensive side of the field, and I imagine he's going to stand up and just start chopping here.
It's Ratliff who got to it and flips it back to Nardella. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Nardella slipping there, but able to maintain possession. So in this first quarter, face-offs, Atlanta, 9 of 10. Down to 12 seconds, Salcido. Davis Allen switches on him. Down to 6 seconds. The short stick, Davis Allen fighting with Salcido. Kicks it out. Daniel Ipe bounced in the crease and goes wide. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. But Malcolm, if you're Atlanta, you got to be pretty happy with your offensive output.
I think so. Great defense by Chesapeake there to preserve that score.
We've played one quarter in Atlanta. The Blaze 7, the Bayhawks 4. This is Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
I've ever had in my career. To be so close, you're getting closer and closer, and then you're gonna have it pretty much ripped away from you. It tests you.
What I took from it is we're a championship caliber team.
This is a team that had built itself, had gotten to the playoffs, had back-to-back opening round losses, get to the championship game. To me, the only goal for this machine team in 2017 was to finish it off.
And there it is! For the first time in franchise history, the Ohio Machine has won the Major League Lacrosse Championship.
You don't feel sorry for yourself.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Just find a way to make it happen.
No, you don't.
Sun setting in Atlanta, getting ready for the start of the second quarter. Blaze 7, Bayhawks 4. Major League Lacrosse on LSN continues on Saturday with a pair of games. First at 5 p.m. Eastern, the Charlotte stay in playoff contention when they visit the Boston Cannons. Then at 7, two more teams looking to earn a spot in the postseason battle when these Atlanta Blaze take on the Florida Launch. Coverage begins at 4:30, and following the game, stay with LSN for all the MLL news and highlights on Lacrosse Now. Of course, Florida playing Ohio right now. If they lose that game, they are eliminated. So they're hoping they win that one, and then their game against Atlanta will have that extra meaning. And Florida leads 9-6 at halftime, so they are doing their job today. Atlanta doing theirs as well right now. Chesapeake can clinch a playoff spot with the win here in this game. And as we see, Kelly trying to win just the face-off for the second time. Still can't do it. It's 10 for 11 in favor of Atlanta. Now, the point I wanted to make about Chesapeake, Malcolm, was that they play Saturday as well. They play against Denver on Saturday night, a team that's trying to catch them for that second home playoff spot. And for Chesapeake, they need to clinch that playoff spot still. I mean, so there's still a lot on the line for them, and it doesn't get easy when they play Denver Saturday.
No, not at all. And like we said, this time of year, I think everybody's pretty well polished, playing their best ball, and these rosters are so full of superstars. I mean, any given day, a team can get hot.
Here's Connor Kelly at X. 2 goals in the first quarter, including a 2-pointer. It's got Gordon Murray hung up there in the crease. Kelly, shot clock at 8. Terp against Terp. And smartly there with 2 on the shot clock, was well beyond the 2-point line and just rolls it off into the corner and make Chesapeake go the length of the field. Here's Mark Lassini, third-year man out of Yale, who helps clear. Has been quiet so far here in this first half. I haven't really said his name too much.
Yeah, I mean, Chesapeake hasn't really had the ball.
Yeah, you're right. They only 4 shot attempts in the whole game.
I think we've seen Miles on offense, or defense more than on offense so far.
And Lyle Thompson shoots that one right into the goalie cross of Adam Gittleman, making the save.
Yeah, that was a little rushed out of Lyle. I would have liked to see a little bit more play development out of Chesapeake there, and at least have a good possession and rest their defense.
There was a lot of people maybe questioning coming into this game. Now, Lyle Thompson, he's a Bayhawk. They were hoping to have him play earlier in the year, had a lingering injury from the indoor season. Obviously plays with the Iroquois Nationals, and on one end, how can you not put him in the lineup? But then there are some that talked about as staying with that. Daniel Ipe spinning through the middle, ends up scoring his 9th goal of the season. It's now 8 for Atlanta.
Atlanta's just finding so many ways to score here. Kelly doing a great job at drawing the attention of the defense, and Ipe just, he said, sticking in with it, cleaning up his own garbage there right on the crease. That guy's got to get touched. In other words, that Chesapeake defense really needs to send a message here that they're not out of this game, and it's going to be a painful situation for you if you step in front of their goal. You just can't let an offensive player tiptoe through your crease like that.
Now, what I was saying about Lyle Thompson, again, on one end, how can you not put him into your lineup, right? But then there was the maybe the devil's advocate side that says, well, I mean, outside of last Saturday, which is, maybe an anomaly, teams been playing so well, would you really want to change too much of what's worked?
I think it depends on the player, and a player like Lyle, who's all about his team and wants to see the team be successful and has that work ethic beyond just his incredible talent. I think he just makes a really good team even better. I'm a little surprised at this start, to be honest, but I know that Atlanta was going to come in very hungry, and they're showing that they want to be a playoff team.
So the challenger here to see if Ipe was in the crease. And that angle, tough to tell if his toes on the line. You can see Mark Lassini immediately pointing down. So we'll see if the goal stands for Daniel Ipe. It would make it 8-4 Atlanta here in this first half. Chesapeake does not have Matt Danowski today, so that kind of then you say, all right, well, Lyle Thompson's got to be in the lineup for sure if a guy like Danowski is not available for you.
More angle, Scott. That's a tough one, but the officials get another.
Yeah, we're going to need, well, this is the one I think that's probably going to give you the best chance to see. And even then, you can't tell from this angle if there's any green space between the white of his cleats and then the orange line. So it's going to stay as a good goal. for Daniel Ite and keep it 8-4 Atlanta. And Dave Cottle looks to be a little frustrated. You know, his team, again, on this past Saturday, sure, did not have some key pieces, but still it was a pretty talented team that was out there Saturday, and they really got run off their own home field by Charlotte start to finish in that one. 20-10 may have actually been as close as that, really, for most of that game. Colin Heacock added some goals late for Chesapeake, so kind of bad start here today. Obviously, a lot of time left, though. So far, Malcolm, what, if anything, right now do you think Chesapeake needs to change other than winning a face-off, which would probably be a good start? Luckily, Nico Amato just made his 9th save of this first half.
Well, they got to stop Atlanta from going forward. If they're not game, which has been working really well for Atlanta, they've got it. That was almost another one off the pipe. So that's a really important key to the game. And Nardella is hot. You know, fight for a couple more face-off wins, but stop that transition.
So we have played 3 minutes here in the second quarter. Atlanta led 7-4 after 1. Here's Thompson. Scored on his first shot of the game. Going one-on-one against Hosick and bowls it home. Lyle Thompson scores his second goal of the game. He worked Graham Hosick off of him there and had pretty good amount of space once Hosick was out of the picture.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Lyle Thompson kind of play. I've seen him do this against Scott Ratliff in the past. I've seen him do it especially when he gets a short stick matchup on that low wing area, where he'll just step away from his man and create that enough space to shoot that underhand shot. He does it so well, and I've pointed to this goal for some of my young players that I coach up in the Boston area. And when we talk about this move, again, bouncing into your man, bouncing off, and then reading the defender. If you need a good ready position, can you shoot it right away? Can you hitch and go back over the top? All of those things that Lyle does so well.
Lyle last year with the Bayhawks had 20 goals in 6 games. Played 2015 and 2016 with the Florida Launch. That's our first real stalemate that we've seen between Nardella and Kelly today.
You can see there, Nardella's got a nice counter to preventing Kelly from getting that clamp.
It's Scott Ratliff again. He has 7 ground balls here in the first half. And then Nardella, long-range shot it high.
Why not?
Yeah.
Getting so many possessions here. Let it fly.
Yeah, I mean, really the numbers are staggering. 11 of 13 face-off wins for Atlanta, and they've outshot Chesapeake 21-6 and have an 18-3 ground ball lead. Here's Jack Corzelius, number 77. Now Salcido. Also see Rice, Palasek, and Kelly, the 6th in the offensive end right now. Salcido stopped by Amato. Nico Amato almost to double figures here in the first half. He has 9 saves. Cuccinello from behind. Was close.
And I really like that riding game out of it. They're challenging Chesapeake all over the field.
And Chesapeake ends up turning it over. And now Atlanta trying to go quickly in transition.
I believe that was an offsides there, Scott.
So the offside whistled. And now Kevin Rice with the ball down low, being watched by Jesse Bernhardt. Let's not get into too much of offside. I'm going to go back to that Canada-USA game. Cuccinello tiptoes around the crease, denied by Amato. 10 first half saves, and we've only played 5 minutes through the second quarter.
That's an amazing spin around save by Amato.
Kelly got a step to his right. I think that one blocked before it got through to Amato. Still going to be Atlanta ball. Atlanta is making life difficult right now for the Chesapeake defense, and Nico Amato specifically. Wide open, Salcido, and Amato can't find it, and is it in his shorts? And finally it comes out. I think that ball may have gone up his shorts there for a moment. Hopefully we'll get a chance to look at it again. Here comes Isaiah Davis Allen.
That's why as a goalie you want to get the triple XL shorts when they issue those.
Steals Stanwyck. Taking some stick checks from Eddie Glazner. Now Lyle Thompson, once again matched up with Hosick. Stanwyck with the screen, so the switch, Glazner. Thompson fakes the pass. Good help by Ratliff, and then don't see a flag. Ratliff, you saw Thompson's head snap back. Thompson still battling, and that one slipped out. Wow. So no flag there on that play.
A nice heavy pressure by Ratliff there. A little chin music, I'll give him that. But in this league, that'll fly most of the time.
Shot clock down to 7. Stanwyck. And going to roll out of bounds. It'll also be a shot clock violation, so it's Atlanta ball.
Turnover by the Bayhawks. It'll be Blaze ball.
You got to credit Atlanta and the team defense that they're playing today, and really frustrating the Chesapeake offense. But despite all of those statistical categories, it's still a 2-possession game.
Blaze 8, Bayhawks 5 here on Lax Sports Network.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Atlanta 8, Chesapeake 5. The Blaze on top of the Bayhawks in this Thursday night matchup. Week 14 of the MLL season concludes Sunday on Lax Sports Network with the first place Dallas Rattlers host the New York Lizards. Dallas has already clinched a spot in the postseason and will host a semifinal game, while New York is hoping to join them in the playoffs. LSN's coverage gets underway at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, July 29th. And following the game, stay with LSN for updated playoff scenarios and all the from the on Lacrosse Now. Let's check out this save that Nico Amato made a few moments ago, where the ball seemed to disappear. Let's see, Malcolm, what exactly happened here on the Salcido shot?
I love Salcido making the backdoor snively cut and ripping that low-to-low submarine shot. And Amato,
he caught it with his shorts.
Couldn't get his stick there in time. That's how fast that ball's moving. But he had the presence of mind just to drop his center of gravity.
What I thought was interesting, too, is that even Nico Amato didn't have any clue. He couldn't even tell that it went up his shorts.
Right.
So that's a unique save.
I'm sure he felt it, just not knowing where the rebound may have ended up. But the shorts are better placed than in front of his goal.
That's true, yeah.
Was Atlanta attacking.
No rebound on that one. So Atlanta with this 3-goal lead, trying to get to 500 or back to 500. Coming in 5-6, Chesapeake 8-3. Just had their 7-game winning streak snapped last Saturday. Pass across, somehow got through Manis. Ipe couldn't control the feed from Salcido, though. And now Manis, long-range pass, connects to Glacini. And Chesapeake trying to get really more time with it offensively, as only won a couple of face-offs. Only attempted 7 shots in the game. And Ratliff lost his stick. Miles Jones, actually it was Jones who lost his stick. He got drilled. So equipment all over the place. And now Pennington for Atlanta.
Well, that matchup came up in my conversation with Nardella earlier this week. We talked about the size differential, but we also talked about Ratliff being possibly the strongest player in the league, pound for pound. He's not afraid to go after that 6'5" downhill dodger, Miles Jones.
Rice, slinging it wide on the bounce. Back up by Cuccinello. Still 25 on the shot clock. Atlanta has only gone 1-4 at home this year. They still have one home game left. Next Saturday, August 4th, they wrap up the regular season against Denver. Again, this Saturday, 2 days from today, they'll play at Florida. Saved by Amato. Rebound kicks out and picked up by Manis. Both of these teams playing 2 games in 3 days starting today. And talked about Chesapeake. They will host Denver on Saturday night. And that one could be a gigantic battle to see who gets that second home playoff game. Dallas has already wrapped up one of those spots, and then Denver and Chesapeake right now are the front runners for the other one. I think Charlotte technically still has a chance. Right now it's 7-6, or finish 8-6 to sneak into number 2, but would need a pretty good amount of help with Chesapeake 8-3 and Denver 7-5. In front of them, there is Miles Jones getting a shot off for the first time today.
Bayhawks goal.
He scores his 20th of the season. And so now Chesapeake has scored a couple in a row, too, and it seems as if maybe kind of just righted that ship a bit here.
Yeah, and I think, Chesapeake being able to slow Atlanta and slow that momentum. And that previous play actually fueled Miles Jones to go right at this matchup and sting this high heat.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? I'm Alex Fuller. Do you know an outstanding player who has recently done something so awesome on the field and you think they deserve to be put in the spotlight? You're in luck. We are now introducing LSN Spotlight. Parents, coaches, even players, if you have someone in mind, send us their name, age, who they play for, and either a picture or video to lsnspotlight@laxsportsnetwork.com for a chance to be featured. Come on, I know you all want to highlight your sick BTBs or crazy 10-goal games, or even your most creative sellies.
Miles Jones just took his first shot of the game and scored his first goal, and Chesapeake back within 2, 8-6 here in the second quarter. Under the helmet, in a couple of weeks, the 2018 Cascade MLL Rookie of the Year will be announced. This week, we take a look at some of the leading candidates for the award. Denver's Chris Kluche, 4th-round pick by Denver, leads all rookies in goals and points this season. Kluche has tallied 26 goals and added 14 assists in his first 6 games with the Outlaws. Florida's Jules Henningberg, the 7th overall pick in the draft, has 15 goals and 10 assists in 7 games, while 9th overall pick Justin Gutterding has 14 goals and 9 assists in 7 games for the Ohio Machine. Let's throw a defensive guy in there, though, Malcolm. Defensively, Ben Randall, selected in the 2nd round by Ohio before being traded to Charlotte. Through 9 games, he's picked up 26 ground balls, caused 15 turnovers, and that ranks 3rd in Major League Lacrosse. Got to give the D guys some love, Malcolm, right?
I always appreciate the defensive love, but in that group, I think Cloutier is the front runner for sure in that. I mean, he's such an exciting player to watch, and not taking anything away from those other players.
No.
Scoring, almost twice as many goals in one less game than his counterparts.
Yeah, unfortunately coming up with a bit of an injury, and does not look like he'll be available to play Saturday against Chesapeake. I don't think anybody in a Bayhawks uniform is going to shed a tear about that. But I think maybe with the overall look at the league, it's a guy you want to see on the field, obviously, and hopefully he'll be able to get back out there very quickly for Denver. You don't want to see injuries derail their season, because obviously Jack Kelly, their normal starting goalie, appears to be done for the season, but they found out that Dylan Ward's pretty good there in goal for Team Canada, and he could probably fill the void. That shot off target. Connor Kelly, though, the backup for Atlanta. Here's Tommy Palasek, matched up with Mark Lissini. Gordon Murray came over as well. Cuccinello back behind the cage. And a bad pass. Palasek was trying to get it to Rice. Rice trying to hustle to keep it alive there. So that's what Chesapeake needed. I mean, again, they haven't really closed the gap in the face-off battle. But at the very least, they're getting stops, getting some ground balls, and just more time on offense. Just let the defense breathe. Let Nico Amato breathe a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then, even I see Sieverts running off the field. There's a guy we talked about before the broadcast that we both wanted to see in action and both thought a lot of as an offensive threat. You got to get these guys on the field.
Right. That's the thing with Chesapeake. There seems to be so many options. Here's Colin Heacock. I mean, he's been quiet in this game, but he leads the team with 35 points on the season. He's had a hat trick, 4 points in total each of the last 2 games. Jones matched up there with Liam Burns. Not to be confused with Liam Banks, his head coach. Jones, and that got blocked. Ricochets here to the near side, and still going to be with Chesapeake. 13 on the shot clock. Lyle Thompson will start it back up.
It's not a pleasant pill to swallow there when Jones winds up and rings one off your helmet.
There's Sieverts with the lefty shot. Gittleman made the save. He lost track of it, but Johnny on the spot there was Jeff Reynolds, tracking it and trapping it there in the crease for Gittleman then to find. Less than 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Atlanta 8 and Chesapeake 6. Atlanta led 7-4 after the first quarter, and that one bounces around. Amato has it, looks to quickly go out in transition, getting it to Matt Abbott. Little Matt Abbott, by the way, playing in his 134th career game today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Playing in his 10th season out of Syracuse.
He is still the human clear.
Bounce shot wide by Ryan Tucker. In his second year with the Bayhawks. 25-year-old from Towson, Maryland. Sieverts, stutter step, trying to shed his defender, Corzelius. Thompson. Double comes from McClancy. Find the open man, and Abbott can't get it on frame. Shot clock at 12. And Tucker tried to go low. Gittleman tracked it, makes another save, back to saves, and actually call a step in the crease there, it looks like, against Chesapeake. So Atlanta's going to get it. You're going to see Adam Gittleman directing traffic, maybe settle things down, hold this for a final shot of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's it. Just make sure they take care of the ball in that clearing situation. There's no hurry. And, you make saves like that. You want to listen to that guy.
Listen to Gittleman, obviously a veteran in his 8th season.
Two spectacular saves right in a row. He's so athletic. Those are the kind of saves that he can bring you.
Salcido. And a little bit behind Ratliff there, was cutting down the middle. 8 seconds left, so Chesapeake a chance to get back within one, maybe tie it with a 2-pointer. And that's too high for Matt Rees, who, if he had caught that, was probably going to look for that 2-pointer. He had one earlier. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. So Atlanta had that 8-4 lead. That 8th goal came with about 13 minutes left in the quarter. So Chesapeake defensively, really does well, and then able to find some offense and get within 2 goals here, 8-6 Atlanta. Right now down on the field being Atlanta head coach Liam Banks. And Coach, when watching this first quarter in your offense, it seemed as if your guys had kind of an idea of go to goal quickly, try to pepper Nico Amato, get some fast offense. Was that anything to do with the strategy or just kind of the way it played out there?
Yeah, I think if you look at some of the goals that we had, we actually wore down the defense a little bit and got our second and third opportunities on there. We want to start the clock early and dodge and make that defense shift, and I thought you saw that a little bit in the first quarter.
Coach, you guys have had the ball for the majority of the first half here. Nardella doing a great job, and some help from his wingmen as well. Gittleman making some great saves right at the end there. He hasn't seen the ball a whole lot. Anything you do in particular to keep your goalie engaged in those situations where he doesn't have a lot of touches?
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever met Adam Gittleman, but that guy's always engaged. He's passionate about what he's doing. We have been winning a lot of faceoffs. It's nice to have the best long stick midi in the world on that wing with Scott Ratliff. He's done an exceptional job, Joe Nardella. But we're going to have to shoot the ball a little better. We had a lot of opportunities where we could have brought that to, about 12, 13 goals this half, and we didn't. So we kind of let them straight back in the game. So we're going to talk about it at halftime and hopefully come out shooting the ball a little better in the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, guys.
That's Atlanta head coach Liam Banks. His team at halftime has an 8-6 lead on Chesapeake. This is Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He's perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
Fakes in front, long shoots, he scores! The Outlaws are 2016 Major League Lacrosse champions.
So that's a long off season. Definitely a devastating loss. Probably the toughest loss I've ever had in my career. To be so close, you're getting closer and closer, and then you're gonna have it pretty much ripped away from you. It tests you.
What I took from it is we're a championship caliber team.
A team that had built itself, had gotten to the playoffs, had back-to-back opening round losses, get to the championship game. To me, the only goal for this Machine team in 2017 was to finish it off.
And there it is! For the first time in franchise history, the Ohio Machine has won the Major League Lacrosse Championship.
You don't feel sorry for yourself.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Find a way to make it happen.
now in Atlanta as the Blaze have an 8-6 lead on Chesapeake right now. That's a pretty good shot we got there.
It looks like it's on fire in Atlanta. I mean, it's there's symbolism, you know. I think that's it right there.
All right, let's check out the highlights. The goals scored in this game, and Chesapeake got out to a 2-0 lead and started this, though, Lyle Thompson, his first shot of the season. And then after that, we had Josh Byrne, who scored for the Bayhawks. So they led 2-0. Then we see Connor Kelly get this two-pointer that tied the game up at the time 2-2. And then it would be answered by Matt Reese. And so Chesapeake went back out in front, 4-2. And then, Malcolm, this is where Atlanta had their big run, though. They went from down 4-2 on the back of Joe Nardella's faceoff wins to going ahead 8-4. Certainly the turning point of this game so far.
Sure, you see Captain Scott Ratliff, birthday boy, standing above it all, you know, just celebrating with his teammates and directing that energy and really sparking his team on both ends of the field.
How about that one by Sergio Salcido?
Those are the goals I like out of Salcido, where he's got a 5-yard running start downhill, and he can create that kind of separation.
There's Kevin Rice going away from the goal, shooting bang on that one. This one trickled by Nico Amato by Connor Kelly.
How great is Connor Kelly? We're getting to see his outside shooting prowess, his inside finishing ability. He's really a complete player and fits very nicely into this offense.
Saw Daniel Ipe work hard for a goal there. So that made it 8-4 at the time. Chesapeake, though, scored the final 2 goals of the second quarter. Lyle Thompson again, and then this one by Miles Jones. And this is definitely his type of game, the downhill dodger.
Yeah, the redemption goal for Jones after pocket picked on the pre-play. And he was there to say, this game's not over by a long shot.
All right, so at halftime, it's Atlanta 8 and Chesapeake 6. You're watching Major League Lacrosse on LAC Sports Network.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. The pinnacle of protection, comfort, and vision. Cascade, passion to protect.
Fakes in front, long shoots, he scores! The Outlaws are 2000 Major League Lacrosse champions.
So that's a long off season. Definitely a devastating loss. Probably the toughest loss I've ever had in my career.
To be so close, you're getting closer and closer, and then you're gonna have it pretty much ripped away from you.
It tests you.
What I took from it is we're a championship caliber team.
This is a team that had built itself, had gotten to the playoffs, had back-to-back opening round losses, get to the championship game. To me, the only goal for this machine team in 2017 was to finish it off.
And there it is! For the first time in franchise history, the Ohio Machine has won the Major League Lacrosse Championship.
You don't feel sorry for yourself.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Find a way to make it happen.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will get their hands on the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Scott Sudikoff, Malcolm Chase with you, and now being joined by Chesapeake head coach Dave Cottle. And Coach, it was a really tough outing this past Saturday for your team against Charlotte. You guys got off to a slow start in this one, able to fight back late in the second quarter, though. What needs to change moving into the second half to be a little more consistent?
Well, I think the tone of this game has been set at the face-off X. I think we had a 2-goal lead. They scored 2 goals off the face-off, and they won just about every face-off. I think there was only 2 balls that we even had a chance to pick up. So the face-off play has really dominated the game, and I think we're playing defense with our goalie right now rather than defense.
Coach, you answered my question. I think that face-off X is so crucial. It looks like you've managed to at least slow down Nardella from pushing the ball forward. Any particular strategies to get the ball into your stick?
Well, we moved our pole to match up with their pole because Scott Ratliff was dominating the game with his personality and his ground ball play, and he was beating our shorty in. So we moved our pole to it. It's okay to lose faceoffs. We just can't give up goals anymore.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck here in the second half.
Thank you.
Chesapeake head coach Dave Cottle. You look at Joe Nardella, 12 of 14 in the first half at the face-off X. Stephen Kelly took all but 1 face-off in that first half as Sean Mayle took 1. So there is Kelly against Nardella. So Kelly, Nardella start off this third quarter, and got a whistle, and it's going to be Chesapeake ball. So Chesapeake will get the first possession of the third quarter, down 8-6. And yeah, I thought it was interesting what Coach Cottle said was, hey, we don't necessarily need to win the face-off. It's just stop Atlanta. Whoa, Josh Byrne rings one off the post, and it almost reached the stands.
A little controversy on who was closest.
A little colorful language here, and Josh Byrne.
It has to be the man who's closest, who's still in bounds,
right,
by the way, off a shot rebound.
Liam Banks fired up. But as I was saying, don't necessarily need to win the face-offs. Just have to stop, as you had said it, Joe Nardella from pushing it ahead. Yeah, and Liam Banks is still fired up. Chesapeake had turned it over. The ball happened to go right to Liam Banks.
Yeah.
He then flipped it to Scott Ratliff, and they went, and then they finished like, whoa, wait a minute, slow down here.
If you gave Coach Banks a set of gear, he'd jump out there and score a goal for you if you needed one.
He's ready to play right now. All right, so 90 seconds into the third quarter, we've had some pretty good excitement already. Kelly. Out to Deemer Class. Clancy at Salcedo out beyond the 2-point arc. Screen set by Kelly, now gets the pass from McClancy. Good dodge down the right alley, saved by Amato, who made 11 first half saves, now 12 in this game for the 5th-year goalie out of Maryland.
Well, Scott, I was ready to break this goal down for you. I thought that one was going in. It was a great hesitation move by Kelly, freezing his defender, and then charging downhill. He got a great look on the cage, but that just speaks to Amato's ability to those low shots.
Adam Gittleman made 5 saves in the first half. Ball down, and another ground ball for Atlanta. They're dominating in that category, 21-9.
Yeah, Lyle's just got to get the ball out of his stick on the other end. We had talked about this earlier, and I was explaining it. Better to get some shots where even you miss the cage. Even if you don't get a reset, you're creating offense. You back it up, and you're looking for a corner rather than just putting any shot on the goal.
Talked about earlier, Atlanta has not really been a good home team this year. 1-4, their home record. Luckily, they've gone 4-2 on the road to get to this 5-6 record. Another ball down on the ground. Chesapeake would love to get a ground ball. They do here. Nick Manis got it away to Matt Abbott. Chesapeake on the road this year is 4-1 with their 8-3 record. Abbott. Trailer Reese and didn't look it into his cross. Thought about teeing up a second two-pointer. Abbott, though, battling 1-on-3. Gets out of the jam there with 3 orange uniforms draped all over him.
It was pretty amazing athleticism out of Abbott. Not that surprising, but still nonetheless amazing.
An all-star the last 3 consecutive seasons. Now 31 years old. John Maloney seeing time on the field right now. Third-year player out of Albany. Back to Abbott, shot clock at 10. Maloney, and that one hits Byrne behind the goal there. And it looked as if Hossack was the closest one, and you can hear the Atlanta sideline. They are red hot again. Liam Banks.
I think they've got an argument there, you know, where the ball, where and when the ball goes out.
Right, is when it goes right, exactly. When it goes over the end line, that's the point where. So let's see. So they're
it's
gonna
not an easy job being an official.
No.
In the game of lacrosse, I can tell you that.
So we were getting a look. We're not showing it on the broadcast. We're able to see as the shot clock will run out. It looked as if the same idea we had before, that Josh Byrne ended up being out of bounds by the time the ball went out of bounds. And you explained it earlier. It's closest to the ball, but you have to be in the field to play.
That's correct. Yeah.
So in the end, though, shot clock violation, and all seems to be right for Atlanta here. They have the possession.
Atlanta, however, still sitting at that 8-goal mark. And they've got to get something going again.
Yeah, they have
the momentum that they had earlier in this game.
They have not scored since about 2.5 minutes into the second quarter, and now they turn it over. And Chesapeake slowly battling back. And
Chesapeake's a different team right now. They're playing more physically. They're a little chippier. They're riding better. Very strange circumstances here, Scott. Just the ball just seems to keep turning over.
Yeah. We'll get a timeout here. We'll regroup. 9:52 left to go in the third quarter. Neither team has scored. It's Atlanta 8 and Chesapeake 6.
We built this cleat for the player who works tirelessly, day in and day out. We built it for the player who pushes their body to the limits, that extra step. We built it for the player who wants speed. We built it for her.
Gone into a locker room at 2-6.
You're almost thinking that the season's over.
Back-to-back weeks now that Denver surrendered 20-plus goals, and they will have to clean things up if they want to turn this season around.
I didn't think we were going to really get to the playoffs. No one thought we would make it to the championship.
This could be the beginning of something pretty special for the Denver Outlaws.
And that's it! For the second time in 3 years, Denver does it!
Hey, we got Tommy Beaver coming through after we clear.
Blow by my guy.
Yep. In the playoff chase here, Major League Lacrosse on LSA continues on Saturday with a pair of games. First at 5 p.m. Eastern, the Charlotte Hounds look to stay in playoff contention when they visit the Boston Cannons. Then at 7, 2 more teams looking to earn a spot in the postseason battle when the Atlanta Blaze take on the Florida Launch. The Blaze play 2 games in 3 days with that game against Florida. Coverage begins at 4:30, and following the games Stay with LSN for all the MLL news and highlights on lacrosse now. You can also see Sunday wrap up with Dallas and New York. Scott Sudikoff, Malcolm Chase back with you. 8-6 Atlanta. Neither team has scored here in the third quarter. Atlanta hasn't scored in about 17 minutes of game action, so things have kind of slowed down. And, well, remember, I said I don't think we're going to see that 9-6 score. I still don't think we'll see that 9-6 score, but certainly things have slowed down offensively.
Well, Coach Cottle talked about playing defense with it. Looks like the entire defense is on board and doing a nice job at slowing down Atlanta.
By the way, that Florida-Ohio game where Florida must win to stay alive in the playoff chase. The launch lead 12-11. That game in the second half, and specifically it's in the fourth quarter with 8:44 to go. So Florida hoping to win that, stay alive, and then their game against Atlanta 2 days from today would have a lot of meaning, especially if Atlanta holds on and wins here.
For sure.
Possession is going back and forth.
Tonight's a battle.
Yeah, this is going back and forth a little bit more here this third quarter. It's kind of, maybe it's really kind of taking a 180 in terms of stylistically this game.
Yeah, a little sloppy. You know, guys aren't connecting on passes. Both teams are riding pretty well and forcing the opponent into some pressured situations. The leaders of each team need to kind of take control here.
Now, this is the 6th all-time meeting between Atlanta and Chesapeake. Of course, Atlanta joining the league in 2016, and Atlanta has never beaten the Bayhawks, 0-5. Cuccinello at GLE goes out to Kelly. Kelly looking to roll back to the middle against Bernhardt. Gets switched in. It's Isaiah David Allen on him. Former teammates in Maryland. Now Salcido's shot gets blocked. And we'll go out of bounds here on the sideline. 5 on the shot clock, though. Rice quickly. He tried to fit it into Kelly. Here comes Bernhardt. Jesse Bernhardt played in all 7 games for Team USA, winning the gold medal at the World Championships. Rejoining the team today.
Well, and part of that great defensive stand there again on the Chesapeake defensive end. And they're really sealed up tight right now.
See number 22, Josh Byrne, also back with the Bayhawks after he played with Team Canada. 6 goals, 6 assists in the tournament in Israel. Sieverts matched up with his number's sake, Justin Pennington, and now it's Miles Jones. Jones using that body that's to get his way by Scott Ratliff. Shot clock at 9, Lyle Thompson with it against Hosick. Shot clock at 3, at 2, and a save by Kittleman. Yeah, but you're still always impressed with the way Lyle Thompson's able to get that good of a shot off.
Right. Well, you know, that play began with a nice takeaway by Hosick, and you know, and then Lyle regathering that ground ball and still managing to create his own offense. One guy's not going to get it done here. These teams need to go back to moving the ball, creating for each other. These defenses are just playing too well, and these go hot.
We've only had 1 penalty in this game, and it was on Chesapeake back in the first quarter early. Atlanta did not score on that EMO. Atlanta has won 12 of the 15 faceoffs. They're out shooting Chesapeake 30-18. Nico Amato, though, has done his job with 12 saves. Adam Gittleman has made 6 on the other side for Atlanta. And Amato not able to stop that one, though. And Atlanta able to snap that goal drought. They hadn't scored since 2 minutes and 23 seconds into the second quarter. And now with 5:47 left in the third, Christian Cuccinello scores his 10th goal in an Atlanta uniform this season.
Awesome strength by Cuccinello to dig in against Bernhardt. You know, he's such a great position defender on that edge. And Cuccinello just gets his body lower. He's 6 feet, 210, getting his center ground than his defender. And managing to get enough space above GLE for that question mark shot.
The rookie out of Villanova talked about him playing with Team Italy in the World Championship, scored 16 goals, had 7 assists, Also played some long pole in that game. Just a couple, yesterday actually, Travis Eldridge on MLL Press Pass had asked Liam Banks if maybe Christian Cuccinello would play a little long pole at some point, and coach kind of said, well, we might have another option before we get to that.
Sure.
If necessary.
Right.
But a good thing to have in the back pocket.
Speaks to his athleticism for sure.
John Maloney passes it back behind the net to Thompson, then cutting with Stanwyck. He gets denied. Shot clock reset. That was some of the offense I think you're talking about, Malcolm. Good quick passes, Maloney, Thompson, Stanwyck. Just didn't finish. Less than 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Here's Abbott against Reynolds. See Burns behind the goal defensively. Maloney, stick check as that shot went. And still going to be with Chesapeake. Another shot clock reset. Gittleman's made a couple of stops here.
Yeah, nice piece by Gittleman there.
Chesapeake came in 7th in the league in goals per game, 13.1, but tops in goals allowed, only 12.3 goals allowed, and that's after giving up 20. In the game last Saturday against Charlotte, Stanwyck was open, but the feed from Heacock could not connect. And it goes out of bounds to Atlanta with 4:15 to go here in the third quarter. The Blaze have the only goal of the quarter, and it's now 9-6 Atlanta here on Lax Sports Network.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. The pinnacle of protection, comfort, and vision. Cascade, passion to protect.
In 2015, New York sat atop the lacrosse world. 2016 was the year of the Outlaws. And 2017 saw a takeover by the Machine. Who will the Seinfeld Trophy in 2018? Find out on August 18th when the new MLL champion is crowned in Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are on sale now at MajorLeagueLacrosse.com.
Joe Walters is predictable. He's easy to guard.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out. He's a one-trick pony.
Joey Sankey's too small. Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
Blaze 9, Bayhawks 6. In this battle between two teams trying to make it into the 2018 MLL playoffs. Now, speaking of teams battling for the playoffs, obviously this Chesapeake team, and that's this week's MLL Game of the Week on ESPN Plus. Championship aspirations definitely for both the Outlaws and the Bayhawks. They'll play in Annapolis. Both teams in the thick of the playoff race, still in contention, obviously, for home field advantage in the semifinals. Denver at Chesapeake, 7 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, July 28th on ESPN Plus. So 2 days from today, 48 hours from now, Chesapeake will be at home playing possibly that number 2 seed really on the line. Those two teams played a kind of a record-setting game earlier this year. Chesapeake beat Denver 24-22. It was the second highest scoring game in MLL history. So I say that, and then we talked about the game that these two teams played here earlier in the year as Kevin Rice scores to make it 10-6 Atlanta. That game earlier this year, Chesapeake beat Atlanta 9-6. So I was about to say that Chesapeake can win a game in two very different ways. Very high scoring, very low scoring. Right now, though, in a low scoring game, they're losing by 4.
Well, Atlanta with a much needed goal to get that fire burning again, if you will. And Kevin Rice, again, doing so well at getting the eyes of his stick upfield on his man. He does that so well. I think as a defender, you've got to position yourself above him when you're off ball. So if you're hedging or sloughing in toward the middle, you already need to be in position in order to be able to even contain Rice. He does such a great job at getting above GLE and getting that ball out of his stick so quickly.
Saw his 3rd goal of the day, 30th on the season. Nardella diving forward, takes out Matt Abbott. Looked a little dangerous for a moment there, but Abbott back up and seems to be okay. And in the end, Chesapeake is able to get a face-off victory, only their 5th of the game. Jones coming out of the box with a head of steam. Spins back to his left against Ratliff, denied by Gittleman.
Great save by Gittleman.
That is save number 7 for Adam Gittleman.
Ratliff getting just enough of a piece of Jones as he released that shot on that rollback, allowing Gittleman to see that all the way in.
Atlanta, just like Chesapeake, will play 2 games in 3 days. They'll take on a Saturday night. Again, the launch matched up with Ohio right now. In Ohio,
the launch need to win to stay alive in the playoff chase, and they have 2:42 to go in that 4th quarter, and Florida leads 13-12. Daniel Ipe gets all the way to the crease, and Jesse Bernhardt takes him out, and I think he's going to get a penalty, but Malcolm, this was something that you had pointed out back in the 2nd quarter, where Daniel Ipe kind of skated his way through the defense towards the crease, and you said somebody has to make a hit. Somebody has to make some contact. I think Bernhardt does that here, but is going to get flagged. But maybe something you'd like to see if you're Chesapeake defensively.
Yeah, you definitely want to see that. I mean, you can't allow players to continue to walk through the middle of the crease.
Technical foul.
You see a closer look at this replay here, a sense of that hit, but
White,
it looked like the appropriate play. You certainly want to send that message as a defender.
Blaze will have the man advantage. I need 3-2 in the box.
We got a helmet-to-helmet contact as Ipe's on his way.
Well, they actually, I think they may have just called the push on Reese initially. They only called a 30-second push.
Yeah, because Bernhardt's still
Bernhardt's out there.
Yep.
So they called it on
Yep.
Reese, and then the contact from Bernhardt came afterwards. But I think the it's a man-up chance, and Deemer Class from that tough angle can't get it on Cage. And the penalty time is over now. So you see Matt Reese back onto the field, 6-on-6. That one skips through the crease. Rice picks it up on the other side. It got a piece of Amato on the way through. Keeping an eye on that
Florida-Ohio games. They're at about 2 minutes left, and Florida's still holding on to a 13-12 lead. The Machine, and I know a lot of people thinking, oh, the Machine, they've got nothing to play for. They're out of the playoffs, but when they're playing in their home finale, Tom Schreiber's back with the team. And, you know, they beat Florida a couple of weeks ago. And if you talk to Bear Davis, it's right now, it's a lot of those guys on the field are trying out for next year. So they're definitely giving Florida all they can handle. And Atlanta now up by 5, 11-6 with 1:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. Christian Cuccinello, his 2nd of the game, and now 11 on the season. So the Blaze had that really long drought, but kind of righted the ship here and gone up by 5, just lead of the day.
Rice showing the vision. And Cuccinello showing the hands. As much as this pass gets batted down.
I mean, how much of that is just a bad bounce for Chesapeake with the way that kind of finds Cuccinello, or is that something still that they got to clean up defensively?
It's tough to react to that, but you know, your first instinct in front of the cage has to be to take the man and let your goal ball. But when you're right in front, and Cuccinello again, I spoke about his size. If he gets in front of you, it's a tough body to get around, right? And in that position, he was doing a really good job at shielding himself.
and allowing himself to pick up that ball easily.
Chesapeake only 6 goals, have not scored here in the third quarter. Jones trying to change that, too high. And Atlanta's sideline yelling that Jones came through, was in the crease. Byrne near the crease, loose ball on the far side, scooped up by Stanwyck. By the way, the fewest goals Chesapeake has scored in a game this year is the 9 which was in a win against Atlanta. They also scored 9 in the season opener in a loss against Dallas. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Chesapeake trying to get one back. Thompson shoots and scores. So a hat trick for Lyle Thompson in his return to the Bayhawks. And a big one with 7.5 seconds left to maybe reset things, take a deep breath in the fourth quarter, down by 4.
Yeah, and Hossack doing a fairly good job, but one of the toughest positions to be in is where you're leaning against Thompson. And that's what he does so well. We've seen it a couple times in this game already. Just being able to feel the weight of his defender and the momentum of his defender. The defender's playing him a little high, he'll roll inside. If he's playing a little low, he'll roll right over the top. And right there you saw him do a beautiful job at getting over the top and getting the ball quickly out of his stick. Just punching it into the goal.
Well, got to watch out. Joe Nardella could win a faceoff here and quickly get the goal back. Ratliff gets to it, or near it, with just 2 seconds left. Nobody will get the ground ball, and Reese goes up high on Ratliff, and Ratliff is fired up. Luckily, he was within his teammates there to kind of shield him away, but I think I would assume, yeah, a flag there on Reese. Ratliff may have sold it a little bit, just a little, I'll say a little bit, but I think a penalty probably warranted there on Reese, and that's definitely a bad play by the second-year man from Navy there at the end of the quarter. Let's grab a look at it here.
Ratliff's going to do a nice job at playing right to the very end of this. Gives a nice hard chop to Reese. Needs some body.
A little bit. I mean, even
if he knew, he put his hands up, and he knew he's daring Reese to push him.
Ratliff sold it a little bit, but it's still a cross check after the whistle. Always going to draw a flag. So we head to the fourth quarter. Things heating up. It's Atlanta 11, Chesapeake 7.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He's perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
Franchise history, the Ohio Machine has won the Major League Lacrosse Championship.
Don't feel sorry for yourself.
Our underlying theme throughout the whole season was just find a way. Just find a way to make it happen.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Well, there is Matt Reese. He'll get a 1-minute penalty with the extracurriculars at the end of the third quarter, so a man up coming for Atlanta to begin the fourth. Now, the Steinfeld Trophy will not be the only hardware handed out in Charleston, South Carolina in August. The night before the championship game, Major League Lacrosse will announce the 2018 award winners, including Rookie of the Year, Goalie of the Year, and Most Valuable Player. Find out who is the best of the best this season of the 2018 MLL Honors live on Friday night, August 17th, only on Lax Sports Network. Malcolm, we talked here, Rookie of the Year. Got to think Chris Kluche is the front runner for that one. Goalie of the Year, one of the guys in contention, definitely Nico Amato with the play he's had, but there's certainly a pretty good slew of solid goalies in MLL. And then most valuable player, I think, will be a pretty interesting one. I think Kevin Rice certainly is a candidate for Atlanta. We have another flag coming in as Atlanta working here on the man up.
Personal foul, 11 white, / 1 minute, 11
and here's
white,
Sean Mayo picking up a cross check.
Penalty against the Bayhawks will be a 1-minute slashing penalty.
So,
The Bayhawks will have a two-man advantage.
a two-man advantage here for 23 seconds. And then the man on your left, Matt Reese, will be able to leave. So 6-on-4 here for the Blaze. With a 4-goal lead. And a win would get them back to 500, 6-6. And then for the time being, they'd be a half game behind Charlotte and be tied with New York, chasing that fourth and final playoff spot. And that's high off the helmet of the defender in front. That's Manis, Nick Manis, and he is down. And shaken up. And so let's see if we can.
We've seen some tough plays so far this game where guys have had to eat these serious shots coming in at over 100 miles an hour. Teamer Class has such a
off the
powerful
side,
shot.
the side of the helmet. You're a man who has worn these helmets much more than I have, that's for sure. Is there a certain part of that helmet that's not a good place to get hit, just the way it's worn, or is this just the force of the shot?
That's about the worst.
Kind of
you
the
get
side
hit in the
there,
side and you're over your ear,
jars the ear.
hole. Yeah, I mean, when you get those shots that kind of skim off the top, and that's really how the helmet's designed to kind of deflect impact, whether it's the ball or a human being or a stick. But yeah, that's a tough one. And play this game long enough, you're gonna soak a few shots, and that's unfortunate.
So that's Nick Manis, second-year player out of Maryland, 24 years old, and being checked on by the training staff. Obviously, we saw him sitting up and appears to be alert. And so you see Lyle Thompson playing in his first game this season with the Bayhawks, and he has already paid dividends. He has scored 3 of the 7 goals. And obviously Lyle Thompson, we saw him at the World Championships with how good he was, and we've seen him in the indoor game. We saw him in college, and here's kind of what we've seen from Thompson over the last couple of years. This is, last year, similar situation where he missed the beginning of the season, able to play at the end and then score all those goals in limited time.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a beautiful lacrosse player in terms of what he brings to the table. His ability to score, draw attention, and be able to feed. Right now, Atlanta's kind of banking on that Hossack matchup with him. And as much as he's scoring, they're really kind of keeping him as one of the sole goal scorers, you know. Been a few others who have dropped for some other players, but no one's really heating up.
There's Nick Manis. You see him able to walk off on his own power, sitting there on the bench, and appears to be okay. Obviously, I'm sure they're going to run through some protocol there on the sideline, make sure that he is good to go if he's going to return to this game potentially. Florida has beaten Ohio 13-12, so the Launch remain alive. They're now 5-7, and they get to go home to Boca and wait for Atlanta. Although I'm looking at the broadcast right now, and Florida goalie Austin Kaut is limping off the field there at the end of that game. He leads the league in saves. He sees a lot of rubber, makes a lot of saves. So if you're Florida, you're hoping that Mr. Kaut is not where. Hopefully that's just... So right now here in Atlanta, just getting that clock situation figured out. Atlanta had a two-man up situation. They still do. Now it's over. It was going to be right over about a second there. So back to 6-on-5, but still a man up for Atlanta.
You could hear Coach Banks directing his players, making sure they weren't surprised by that fifth man running in there.
Class just inside the line, saved by Amato. Track that one high to low. 13 saves for Nico Amato. Excuse me, 15 saves.
Surprised by the shot selection by Class there. You know, I mean, you certainly don't want to hit players in the head, but he hit another player on those high-to-high shots, which he's so great at, and Amato's so good down low. I think that's the shot you go with next. Guys are going to clear out of the way.
Sievers looked like he was about to pull back for a shot and then took a push from Pennington, held onto it. Now it's Maloney. Slides down, ball down, getting chopped at. He's able to get back to it. Initially, a hold going to be called on Atlanta. So still Chesapeake ball. And then Jones pass to Stanwyck. And it's over. So we got 12:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Looking through some of the numbers, Atlanta still with that face-off advantage, having won 13 of 19. Joe Nardella has taken every face-off for Atlanta. Stephen Kelly has taken all but one for the Bayhawks. Shots are 39-24 in favor of Atlanta. Push from behind by Davis Allen. That's going to draw a flag. Kelly picks up the loose ball, so Atlanta now will work with it, and then a penalty upcoming. Salcido got his hands free for the second time today. Able to find that top corner, tucking it underneath the crossbar and inside the far post. Did it on the opposite side of the field back in the first half. And now does it here again for the Blaze.
Well, Salcido doing what he does so well, getting a head of steam here on this nice sweep dodge and getting over the top. Sean Mayle needs to become the slide there. So when Salcido cuts over the top and it goes in, your man goes in front of the from the defensive perspective. Chesapeake's not playing the smartest ball right now. They had that unforced turnover on the other end, and they had the push call, which is kind of moot at this point. But they're not playing together at the moment. Not playing smart team ball.
Get a win here on a Atlanta violation on the faceoff. So Sergio Salcido, his second goal, his fifth, and now his fifth game with Atlanta. And his 14th in total this season, starting the season with Florida. And he will be taking on his former team on Saturday night in Boca. Matt Abbott lost it. And then Tucker By the way, you see out there number 10, Callum Robinson. Haven't seen him much today. It's hard to miss. 6'4", 245 pounds, number 10 in orange. There he is coming into your picture again. I'm not aware of any injury issue with him, but he was over in Israel, played for Team Australia in the World Championships. Obviously a big part of the Atlanta defense.
I've been watching he and Heacock in the second half off ball, getting into each other.
Abbott, one-hand score. 12th goal of the season for Matt Abbott. Now, you earlier had called him sort of a one-man clear type of player.
The human clear.
The human clear.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's not me.
And then
long ago.
And then, how about this though? The one-hand finish.
It's just clearing the ball 5 yards uphill and tucking around the goalie.
So Chesapeake, they need a battle here. 12, trailing 12-8 now, but still 10:32 left. It's plenty of time. It's an eternity in this league specifically. Plenty
of time, and four points is 2 possessions
right
in this league, right? And you've got
and that helps.
Yep, for sure.
Jeremy Sieverts has 31 career 2-point goals. And Chesapeake now back-to-back face-off wins as well. So that might be the first time today that's happened. Stanwyck got to the loose ball. Still a lot of time on the shot clock. Now Jones against Ratliff. Got it to Thompson. Shot and a save. Gittleman. And at the sideline, Jones was there first. Oh, we've seen Thompson, dodge and set up his own opportunity. This is the first time I think we've seen him in that catch and shoot situation.
Yeah, it's a really high quality shot, and Gittleman's just seeing the ball so well right now.
Here's Heacock. Again, he has been held without a point in this game. Colin Heacock draws a flag, though, and Chesapeake scores anyways. They don't even need the flag. Chesapeake gets back within 3, 12-9. Give it to Josh Byrne, his second of the day, 16th of the season. So Chesapeake battling hard. They're back within 3. Blaze 12, Bayhawks 9.
Joe Walters.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He's perfect. He's exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
Going to be our Powerade power through plays of the game. Similar goals, but in terms of where they end up in the net. But you explained kind of the alley dodge in the first one, but you like this one a little bit more room for him to roam.
Yeah, I like anytime Sergio Salcido gets a running head start on you. I think he's a guy you got to slide to. He's just so good on the run. When he's fading from the cage, he can generate so much power for a little guy. You know, really get the ball out of his stick with a lot of heat on it. So, yeah, I like what he's bringing tonight. He brings that energy, and you know, everybody's firing tonight. You know, Atlanta's firing on all cylinders.
I mean, it was 12-7 just a couple of moments ago, but Chesapeake has scored 2 in a row. Matt Abbott, a one-hand finish, and now Josh Byrne a few moments ago. So 9:15 left, 12-9 Atlanta. And here comes Kelly. Stephen Kelly after the face-off win goes to goal, and saved by Gittleman. No, they don't say he did not get a piece of it. Went wide, so still going to be Chesapeake ball. First time, though, we've seen Stephen Kelly do that today. We've seen Joe Nardella do it plenty of times. Yeah, you get the feeling this game has a little bit more offense left to go. Maybe a lot more left. Jones got doubled, got it to Byrne, saved by Gittleman. That's 9 saves for Gittleman. And here comes Liam Burns. Cuccinello has a couple of goals for Atlanta. Working outside and substitutions being made. Daniel Ipe onto the field for the Blaze. There's Salcido now with it. Palasek dropped it back. Salcido stepped down, saved by Amato. That's his 16th save of the game. Atlanta led 7-4 after 1. So, I mean, we had 11 goals in the first quarter. And then it was 8-6 at halftime. Then 11-7 heading into the fourth quarter. The largest lead was 5 for Atlanta. They had led 11-6 late in the third quarter. Remember, Chesapeake did have a 2-goal lead at 2-0 and 4-2. Saved by Gittleman, whistle, and a slashing call coming. So another penalty. And it's the first one, though, that's being called on Atlanta.
That's a 1-minute penalty.
Gittleman got a nice piece of that shot. A little reminiscent of that squeaker earlier against Amato on this same end of the field.
So Chesapeake to the EMO for the first time today. Liam Burns, the penalty. Chesapeake, the second best man up in the league, 13 of 32. That's 40.6%. Byrne fakes and shot it, but had it blocked. Hosick and Byrne, the Team Canada teammates, battling for it. Robinson and Jones near midfield, and it is Atlanta with the ball.
I think Coach called a timeout right before.
Robinson was able to scoop it up right in that exact moment. Liam Banks able to call the timeout and get the possession. Let's check it out here.
I thought Jones was going to send Robinson into the first row in here.
Yeah, Liam Banks is fired up, and yeah, he certainly understands the importance of this game and that what Atlanta has in front of them. Really, they might not fully control their destiny, but 3 games left, a chance to go 8-6. Just do your job, as a certain coach in New England says, and they might find their way in the playoffs. Now, here are the updated standings after Florida wins against Ohio. So they are 5-7, still in the hunt. The Blaze, if they win, will be tied with New York and a half game behind Charlotte. And if you're Chesapeake and you lose, you're 8-4. You play Denver on Saturday, and then Denver to have a chance to tie you for second place. There are a lot of moving parts right now, and that's what makes the end of the season that's fun.
Yeah, it makes it really exciting, and certainly a number of these teams in the hunt. Guys are playing really tough lacrosse, and we're seeing that in the second half now. A lot more physicality. Little chippy on the Chesapeake side, understandably so.
One of you guys has to be on
But you hit the nail on the head. Play team ball and do your job. You know, Coach Banks is doing his job there, as long as the guys on the field do their job. He understands that. He's got a couple rings to prove it. He knows what it takes on the field to make those clutch decisions and those clutch plays.
We talked about it. Chesapeake will host Denver on Saturday night, 7 o'clock in Annapolis, while Atlanta will go take on the Launch in Florida Saturday night. So both these teams, 2 games in 3 days. I think at this point in the season, with the playoffs on the line, and I don't think anybody's trying to conserve any energy or trying to, save anything for Saturday. I think you just, that whole situation, you got to worry about the game in front of you. Maybe earlier in the season you might think of maybe doing that, but at this point, playoffs are on the line. You don't have that luxury of saving anything.
Yeah, no, these guys they're really conditioned athletes. I think that's been one of the biggest changes since the inception of the league. Is now you have so many players who are coaching and in positions that they can actually train during the week to prepare for these games. So they're so physically conditioned. They're going to recover. They'll be ready to go for the next game and be able to stay hungry.
So after the timeout that was called by Atlanta, there's still a man down. Have possession, though, as you see. Gittleman being chased by Lyle Thompson. Gittleman's got the step on him. Thompson able to jar it loose.
Well, that's we haven't seen that yet this game. That's one of the skill sets that Gittleman brings to the table. He has that ability to run the ball up the field. Almost drew a flag there if the ball hadn't popped out of his stick.
Penalty time should be close to wrapping up. It was a slashing penalty, and the time is over, so even strength. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Scott Sudikoff, Malcolm Chase with you. Fifth Third Bank Stadium, Kennesaw, Georgia. Home of the Kennesaw State University Owls, and of course the home of the Atlanta Blaze. Hosted the 2016 championship game, and it'll host the 2020 MLL All-Star game. Annapolis, the home of the Bayhawks. Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium will host it next year in 2019. And then Denver will be hosting in 2021. Chesapeake gets possession back here, trailing by 3.
Hustle play by the defender there. It was pretty close. I guess in a tie situation, the referee's mind, you might call it for the team
tie
that's
goes
down.
to the defense?
I don't know about that.
Not tie goes to the defense. I thought you might, I like that. Tie goes to the defense.
Do my best to stay as objective as possible.
Abbott, the little away, and then he shoots and scores. So kind of a no-look goal there by Matt Abbott. Really goes well with the one-hander he had earlier. 12-10. Blaze only up by 2 now.
Well, Matt Abbott, he's so unassuming here. You know he's got this burst of speed. He just has a nice little burst downhill. It's wide enough to get the defender to think about slide. And I don't think Gittleman even expected him to shoot from that low angle. He's very quietly getting his team back into this game.
So 12-10 Atlanta. Remember, it was 11-6 at the tail end of the third quarter. We had talked about it at the time. Lyle Thompson scored with 8 seconds left. Yeah, made it 11-7.
Big face-off here. Crucial face-off.
It turns into a wing battle. Scooped all the way towards the Atlanta offensive end, and Cuccinello has it. So saying, though, that Kevin Rice using every bit of that 5'9" and the vertical he has to go and get that one. Saying that Lyle Thompson goal before the fourth quarter, though, before the third quarter ended, saying it was a huge thing. Get back within 4, take a deep breath, reset, and it's carried over here to get back within 2 with 4:25 left. So little things like that are so important in games like this.
Those plays add up over the course of a game.
Salcido
Even that play by Rice there to preserve that possession.
Yeah, if Atlanta could turn this into a goal here. Well. Kelly, Rice, and get redirected wide of the goal. 2 on the shot clock. Game clock still going here, and now Atlanta just will give it up in the corner. And so Chesapeake will have the ball. 3:47 left. We got a close one here. Blaze 12, Bayhawks 10. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network.
Welcome to Ellison Training, your destination for learning about the sport of lacrosse. Whether you are new to the sport or play at the highest level, Ellison Training has tips, tools, and guidance. Now here's what you can look forward to. Lax 101 for the newbies, and for you pros, there's also Lax AP. We've worked with some of the best in the business, and it was all for you. For players, for coaches, parents, honestly, anyone. There's drills, tips, how-tos for every aspect of the sport. There's even fitness and nutrition. Ellison Training is where it's at. So what are you waiting for?
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?
In and day out. We built it for the player who pushes their body to the limits, all to get that extra step. We built it for the player who wants speed. We built it for her.
And by Powerade.
All right, we are back in Atlanta. Heading to the home stretch of this one. 3:47 to go. Atlanta 12, Chesapeake 10. Bayhawks have the ball. Bayhawks trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak for the first time this season. They started the season 1-2. Then they reeled off 7 consecutive wins and then lost to the Hounds this past Saturday. In fact, they had bookend losses against Charlotte. 2 of their 3 against the Hounds. And now trying to come from behind to beat Atlanta. The Blaze at 5-6, a win would get back within a half game. It'd be tied with New York, though, as well there. So you got a logjam near that 4th and final playoff spot. Chesapeake fighting for a home playoff game, but they're also fighting just to clinch a playoff spot. Colin Heacock can't put it on goal. He has had an off game by his standards. No point. He's only taken 2 shots. Abbott has had a couple of big goals here in the second half. And that one buried. Abbott will get the assist on the goal by Josh Byrne. 12-11 with 2:49 to go. Byrne and Thompson, they've been the offense. They have 6 of Chesapeake's goals.
Yeah, and Abbott's been a part of the last 3 as well. So he's, as I mentioned, quietly helping to change the face of this game. And Atlanta's got to make some plays here. This isn't going to come easy.
The last 4 Chesapeake goals have been Abbott, Byrne, Abbott, Byrne. And Abbott, obviously, the assist on this latest Byrne goal. 12-11 with 2:49 to go. And this is, where Atlanta's won 14 of the 23 faceoffs, but it doesn't really matter at this point. If Kelly can win a couple here in the end of the fourth quarter, that's all that's going to matter. And they get it, Reese. So Kelly does enough to win that faceoff.
Sure, and again, that's Kelly just getting the ball out to space, where the Chesapeake has the advantage, as long as it's not on the same side of the field as Scott Ratliff.
And Scott Ratliff with 7 ground balls and an assist today. most of those ground balls have come on the faceoffs. And oh, that's great stop by Gittleman. Abbott went low on him. We got a stoppage of play though. We had a flag.
In this game, it's like a one-goal game.
30-second penalty coming. So Chesapeake will have a chance to tie this game on a man up.
Don't take it away from our guy.
Penalty on the field against the Blaze. Let's go, Blaze defense.
Exploiting his short stick matchup. Atlanta's yet to slide, despite all the success that Abbott's had in the last couple of minutes here.
Man up for the Bayhawks. Nardella called for a slash there. Bayhawks looking for the tying goal, and Sieverts thought he had one, but Gittleman makes save number 11 of his night and keeps it in the favor of the Blaze by 12-11. Now the clear. Salcido drops it off to Rice. He shoots. And that one, Amato makes the save. His 17th. With a fresh shot clock. And now Atlanta can bring this under a minute.
Some pretty clutch goaltending right down the stretch here.
Just a few more seconds left on the penalty to Nardella. And he'll come out and it'll be a 6-on-6. So back to even strength right now. No reason for Atlanta to rush here. Could bring this clock down to less than 40 seconds before they shoot. And Atlanta going to use a timeout with 56 seconds left, leading 12-11.
They got 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Right.
Which is enough time for Coach Banks to draw up something really nice and get a great look on the cage. But you also want to put in contingency for what happens if you don't score. What are you going to do in the defensive end?
Now, of course, we've talked about it all night. Both these teams playing 2 games in 3 days. Chesapeake home Saturday night for Denver. If Chesapeake can't come back and win this game, they'd be 8-4. Denver at 7-5. We 1 game behind Chesapeake for number 2 in the league, which is a home playoff spot position. And then they finish off the season at New York. So that's probably going to be a game that New York needs to win to make the playoffs, no matter what. So Chesapeake's going to have 2 tough opponents. Meanwhile, Atlanta going to Florida. The Launch won their game today by 1 to stay alive. So they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives. And then Atlanta gets Denver. So neither of these teams have, not that there's really any easy game in this league, but they're, you got teams fighting for the playoffs in New York and Florida. And then a Denver team, which hasn't clinched yet, but they've been one of the best teams over the last month or so.
Sure. Yeah, and I think you're playing teams like Ohio and Boston, who they may not be fighting, but certainly, as you mentioned, the tryout factor for the following season. Those fringe players who maybe want to get a secured spot on that roster for the following season, and also teams play a little bit looser when there's nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So they could come out early on and pour a bunch of goals.
It's not as if in this league you're really thinking like, oh, let's play for a better draft pick. Your guys are going out there and you are going to be playing to win.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, these guys are competitors.
Right. All right, so we got 15 seconds on the shot clock. Kevin Rice with the ball. See what was drawn up as the shot clock winds down. Rice against Bernhardt. Rice still with it. Trying to get it diagonally to Reynolds. He does with 2 with 1. And Atlanta, so you got to wonder if, there was something drawn up, maybe if it opened up for Rice. But if not, don't force anything and then do that. Now Chesapeake can tie it or take the lead with the 2-pointer.
Well, they certainly wanted to burn the full shot clock. That was for sure. Not have an unnecessary turnover and give Chesapeake any sort of transition.
Timeout call by Chesapeake. Saw the clock run for about an extra 1.5 seconds there. And I think everybody caught it. So our officials will go over there and they will make sure that Chesapeake gets the right amount of time. We don't want to have any more timing issues. Okay, so let's get that settled. And now let's go inside the Chesapeake huddle here with Dave Cottle. Let's listen in if we can.
Let's go, baby.
Hey, we're going to go double mumbo here. All right? So Heacock or Abbott that has it, we're going hard. If they don't slide, we're playing it. Outside, screen 3 inside. So this right here, shooter, that'll be 4. And on this side, it'll be 22. So we screen here, all right? We sneak ball side here.
We've got so many weapons here.
Backup. So you're going hard. It's a double mumbo. It's either going to be Heacock or Abbott.
It'd be interesting to see who they initiate with. I think if Abbott's on the field, I think you got to start with the ball on his stick, or at least get it in his stick quickly if he's got his short stick matchup. Force Atlanta to slide and move that defense. I think he's one of those guys they'll go early to.
Liam Banks.
If they got Ratliff on Jones and Hudson's out on Heacock, I think they're okay in those matchups. I think they feel pretty confident.
Let's go, Blaze defense.
Atlanta in close games this year, 0-1 in 1-goal games, 1-1 in 2-goal games. Chesapeake 0-1 in 1-goal games, 1-0 2-goal games. So mixed bag.
Like
Abbott
these two teams right here. He's got the speed.
Guarded by Reynolds. Down to 10 seconds. Bird spins inside the arc. Bounced it wide and out of bounds. Atlanta ball with 3.8 seconds left. And the Blaze are going to come away with a huge win to get back to 500 since 6th. They hold off Chesapeake for the victory. And the Atlanta Blaze, a big win. Our Coca-Cola player of the game tonight, Scott Ratliff, keeping with the defensive theme, Malcolm, that we had from the start of the game when we talked about players like Jesse Bernhardt and Liam Burns. Scott Ratliff, though, was so big in the face-off game, but just, you know, I honestly think he may have had more than 7 ground balls. He's just always around it.
It certainly seemed like it, and you know, you look at all the intangibles, the hockey assists, where he's not maybe not ending up in the scorebook, but those little plays that he makes to make sure that the ball gets to the next guy who makes the assist. The energy that he brings, pumping his teammates up, celebrating goals, able to run in offense and get off the field so quickly to keep the flow and energy going in that offensive set. And there are few, if any, players that can do that the same way.
All right, terrific win for the Blaze, and now they got a huge one against Florida on Saturday. Chesapeake on a 2-game losing streak will try to regroup and welcome in Denver, also for a huge game Saturday night. Look forward to checking those both out on Saturday night. Once again, our final score from Atlanta, the Blaze 12 and the Bayhawks 11. For Malcolm Chase and our entire crew, I'm Scott Sudikoff. We thank you for watching Major League Lacrosse on Lax Sports Network. We now send you back to the LSN Broadcast Center for the Lacrosse Now postgame show.
Wild and crazy Saturday night, and this is Lacrosse Now.
Katie Kerrigan with Ben Reeves.
Be honest, how much do you still think about that goal?
What was it like getting a chance to hoist that trophy?
This is absolute hammer time. Look at this move.
He was perfect. He was exactly what we needed on our offense.
Occupying defenders and eliminating the second slide.
Head to this cone and touch.
Get in, get out. Bang. Good.
What's up, lacrosse fans? Have you heard? Lax Sports Network is now free. You can enjoy over 150 live games, including all of the MLL regular season and over 200 hours of original content. Check us out at laxsportsnetwork.com or download the LSN app. Available on iOS, Android, Roku, Chromecast, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Xbox. It's all free, so what are you waiting for?